Today I'm going to be doing a video on quiet borderline personality disorder. So it's not a diagnosis per se, but it's basically something that some identify with, I guess. Um, so it's kind of hard to explain, but I will do my best. So the classic definition of BPD highlights that there is inappropriate anger, intense anger, and difficulty controlling anger. Um, so those is all like the classic borderline. So they define it as the classic and then the quiet. So uh, it's also known as like the borderline rage, which is a lot of outward expression, so meaning a lash out. So that is the classic borderline. Um, So, like I mentioned prior, everyone is affected differently. For me, I find that I'm mostly more the quiet borderline. I put all my anger on myself. And some others, I've met 50-50. I've met the most nice people, most empathetic, and then I've met the nastiest people, and both had borderline. So it really depends on the person. It's not, like I said, it's not a diagnosis. Um, So this is where uh, quiet borderline personality comes in. So people with quiet borderline uh, will still experience the intense emotional roller coaster. So there's still that up and down. Um, it distinguishes the disorder, but we often work harder to shut these emotions down, or at least try to hide them and push them aside so that we don't put it on other people and we are not lashing out. Um, so very often, their sense of self is marked by shame and self-hatred. Uh, so instead of putting our hate on other people and lashing out at them for our issues, we internalize it and hate ourselves per se. So people with BPD often feel that their emotions are wrong, and we spend a great deal of energy either pushing these feelings away or trying to justify them. So it's whether you react by withdrawing, so being quiet, or acting out, which is outward emotion. So the emotional desperation of BPD can feel unbearable. So either one, not the quiet is not better than the classic because both of them are self-destructive. Either you destroy your relationships or you destroy yourself. So either one is not pleasant to have. Um, we internalize all of our anger. All the anger is put on ourselves. It's usually through self-harm, and self-harm is not just physical. It's not just cutting, burning, scratching, punching. It's not just that. It's also binge eating, reckless driving, unprotected sex, like everything that is reckless and impulsive. Um, so we may lash out when we are really, really, really worked up, but it's not like the typical borderline, like the borderline rage. It's not like that at all. So some have characteristics of both. Like some are purely just quiet; they never lash out. Like I have both. Like sometimes I will lash out when I am on the verge of a crisis. Like, and it happens to all of us. It's just we have a very poor emotional stability and we are triggered easily. We are known as the emotional third degree burn victims, as in like we don't have a thick emotional skin. Um, and just to like basically go back on the point that everyone has it different, mental illnesses are never linear. They're like a roller coaster, depending on the disorder, obviously. Like bipolar is very linear, but everything else is pretty much not episodic. Everything is usually persistent. So that is it for today. So thank you for watching, and please like and share. Bye.